Happy Friday, guys. So today I want to speak about weekly close trading setups that I'm taking over the weekend, as well as preparing myself for next week's trades. We did have a good week with Bitcoin overall. We are seeing a altcoin catch up come at any point, but I do want to speak about if Bitcoin does not get through this level, there could be some really big shorts. So today's show is about many setups, weekly close, and getting us prepared to make money in either way or either direction this market wants to go. So do me a favor, because it's Friday, baby. Smash that like, smash the subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and let's get into the video.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗨𝗏𝗡. Welcome to Sheldon's show.
Fam, yo. Okay, let's start off with the weekly. Okay, so it's important, again, we kind of zoom out. So Bitcoin is in this uprising wedge, something that we do have to pay attention to, because ultimately this uprising wedge could be something similar to this. Is Bitcoin going to have another leg to the downside? What is good about this is we do now have structure. We do have an understanding of when or if Bitcoin does want to go to the downside, and that's sitting all the way here at $70,000. Now I want to speak about the progress that Bitcoin has been making throughout the last couple of weeks to months, okay, is we are rising the support. And the good news about rising the support is earlier warning sign if we do decide to go to these crazy levels, right? Which is possibly the $40,000 to $50,000 zone. So again, one of the most important lines to put in your charts right now, specifically on the weekly, is this big emergency of if we are going to see another 40% down within Bitcoin, right? That bottom line is kind of the emergency line. Now, the next part we got to look at is if we are going to come down to this line, right? Because we could just stay in this channel for a while. And what you can see is we are in an uprising channel when it comes to Bitcoin. It's also telling us that don't get too excited just yet. Okay, that we're seeing some progress in Bitcoin. We do need to get through this higher band here to really say that, okay, we are ready for a $90,000 Bitcoin, right? Possibly a little bit higher too. But until then, we got to know that this is a major resistance. And it's this basic form of telling us now that we are just seeing slightly higher highs. We are not seeing the increase in momentum yet. Right? And that's the kind of piece we're looking for, is that increase of momentum. Now that comes from the important area that we are sitting at right now, right? Which is basically the top of the channel, as well as this previous low that we saw all the way in 2025 in April, right? When we were still in a uptrend, right? We could see that this is currently the low that is now holding resistance, right? We have this low, we have this wick. So between the areas of the $78,000 and the $81,000 zone, right, we are sitting at this wall of where shorters will be shorting, where bears want to hold the control, right? And to be honest, if they hold this, bears are still in control of this market right now, okay? But that also gives us an opportunity or a possibility of us smashing through it. And again, if we do decide to smash through it, it's very likely we can see Bitcoin go to the areas of the 90,000s. Right? And then again, we'll see if we get through these areas, because there, anywhere between this zone of 94,000 and 98,000, you're sitting with the previous highs, right? And you're sitting with the previous lows at this area of June 2025. Okay, so right now we are massively into resistance, okay, which means for me personally, long-term bags I'm still kind of holding. Where I really consider that is obviously this low over here. But for now, long-term is good. But when it still comes to trading, it's still important to kind of take your money off the table. And I think we've seen that throughout the last couple of days. We are seeing pops in the market. We're seeing pops in some altcoins, right? But it's not really lasting that long. It's kind of coming down, which means that strategy-wise, trading-wise, should still kind of stick the same. However, you do need to slowly start preparing the next plan in your brain. Okay, and there's two plans. The one plan is we actually come into a negative view over the next 2-3 weeks. Right? May's incoming, sell in May, right? We could be seeing the same thing we've seen for many years before, okay? And so that's the one scenario, okay? And then the other scenarios obviously are smashing through. And there will be a short squeeze, and there will be interest coming back into crypto. We are at an all-time low in interest, right? And what I mean by interest, just people that give a crap about crypto. Not many right now. It's done too much damage, okay? But we also know one big move, one big candle, things will come back very quickly. Okay, so right now, current state is we are looking okay, high time frame, right? We don't want to just predict that we're going to reject here. So long-term bags, I'm kind of keeping safe right now. When it comes to the trading strategy, any money I make, take off the table, just take a breather and just no holding trades for too long. That's current plan A right now. Plan B is the rejection. If that happens, we kind of go into the shorting mentality, right? We kind of start looking at, hey, there's a trend, and I'll go through some short term now. You know, we start looking at some shorts, okay, and we try to make some money to the downside when it comes to May. Okay, and the way you do that, very key trends, very key areas, okay, and really good risk to rewards. Just remember, every time you want to short, you want to make sure you got a nice tight stop, and you want to make sure that the reward is really good. Okay, for me, I don't want to predict too much. I'm going to wait for the market or for the token to get ready for the bigger move, and that's what trends kind of do for me, to say, hey, don't try short and predict here, but if we break this trend, perfect risk to reward, you know where to put a stop loss, take the trade, right? Then we jump again, going back here to plan C, which is the breakthrough. Now the breakthrough is it's kind of tricky because once we break through, we tend to move quick, okay, but they also tend to basically trap you. So for me to flip into plan C, I will let it ride, okay? So again, what I can do is I know we are in resistance now, so let's quickly just zoom in here and just show you guys. Okay, so we do have a high here, and I'll make this a different color just so we don't confuse the trend lines here. But there we go. Okay, and again, I'm looking for a good risk to reward. So if I see that price is going down, we hold that bottom trend, we start to break. Okay, cool. There's a couple of longs here. All right, there's the longs, pop in the stops. There we go. Okay, and if I catch it and we break through, amazing. Okay, cool. But let's say I don't catch the longs. I'm gonna let it ride. Let it trap, it'll trap at some points, and then give me an opportunity. Okay, look if we have key daily closes outside of that, because again, the market can play some games, and the games could be that we break out of this top trend line here, okay, and then we close in the same day and we actually reverse, right? So we've seen the market's been really good at that, so key closes outside there will kind of then make me go into full plan C. Right, which gets me to the next point. Next week's going to be a very exciting week, and a very exciting week for us to spend time together. You guys know that we have the blow-from competition, right? This is a perfect time for us to spend a couple of days together, okay, to really just lock into some strategies and get some trading hours together. So what I have for you guys is I have the 𝗦𝗶 Club link below in the description, right? So if you look below in the description, let's see over here, okay, you will find 𝗦𝗶 Club. Okay, then what you'll see under there is you'll see the Sheldon update section, you'll see the Sheldon section. Next week's going to be a very active week for me in this section, as I am going to be trading for this competition over here, right? Again, incredible prizes, going to be a lot of fun together, but the key here is to really get into a strong trading rhythm, okay, and for us to spend time to learn together and to take a bunch of trades, okay? So what I want you guys to do today, okay, is I have only taken one trade here so far. Okay, is I want you guys to sign up to the 𝗦𝗶 team. Okay, so click the 𝗦𝗶 team, say join. Okay, register now, join. If you don't have a blow-from link, open up one. Okay, I'm going to personally be trading up to around $3,000. Okay, in this, and I'm going to look to grow the $3,000 in this period of the 23-day. Okay, if you sign up now and you click and you go to club, okay, you put in your user ID and you get into the section where we are going to be trading together. I'm going to be putting my setups in there. There's a couple of private tradings that we'll be doing at times, okay, but it's going to be a really great time for us to spend together. And to be honest, this is a team effort from Banter. We want to create something where we can build together in this time, but I want to build up the leaderboard too, right? I'm coming, right? We haven't even released just yet. So this is a great opportunity for us to build up strong. Here is the 𝗦𝗶 team. We haven't even really begun. Get these members up. Get us to hundreds, guys. Come on, 𝗦𝗶 fam. Get in here and let's have a great time next week. And let's go for gold, baby. Let's go for gold and let's just have a really good week of trading. So that's a big opportunity. Now, let's go back over here and just quickly speak around the weekly closes. So far, Bitcoin's weekly close is looking pretty good. The only thing that shifts that is if we see a really hard rejection over the next 2 days going into Sunday, right? And if we see us close below 73,000, that will be bad news for us going down to the mid-60s next week. Anything above 73, 74,000, we should again next week attempt to go to the upside. So Bitcoin's looking decent. When it comes to the altcoins are still sitting in this range. Now, if Bitcoin decides to go for another candle up and break those highs, we might very much see altcoins join the party next week. This is where we are at with altcoins right now. We are in this weekly wedge, okay? And once we pop through the tip where we've hit twice now, 1, 2 times, once we get through that, guys, there is a short squeeze on altcoins, right? So keep that in mind when it comes to the high time frame views. You could see that ETH is creeping up to the major trend. It started to just pop its head through, right? We could see some big moves in this next week, right? Of maybe even an ETH going up to the areas of 227 to 28, right? Who knows from there? The market might want to put in new highs. We will see. But nonetheless, risk to rewards are good right now, right? They're looking really good. But it does come down to an important weekly close. So tons of alts are kind of just sitting at these resistances right now, right? There's Solana, keeps hitting the same resistance, right? But once we get through that, hey, the 120, the 140 become available again. And that's an opportunity for us to make great money back in the markets. Now I want to speak about a couple of trades that I am paying attention to personally. The first token that I'm paying attention to is Zcash. Now Zcash has this type of momentum at the moment where it kind of runs against the market. So even short time frame, we've been seeing a little bit of bearishness when it comes to Bitcoin and alts and things like that. This is a token that kind of is running against that, right? And it has now creeped up to a very important daily trend. And I want us to pay attention for this breakout. But until we break out of that trend, I am looking for entries a little bit lower down. But this is one of the tokens that I'm very much focused within the weekend to get entries, as well as next week, trading a lot of this token. It's definitely outperforming. It's definitely one of the stronger tokens, and I want to keep to strength in this market right now. So as we go in over here, and we zoom in, okay, I just want to show you that right now as it stands, there's good entries sitting here at these zones here, right? The way you can track that beautifully, again, let it come down, let it make a trend, track the trend, break a trend, boom, is the entry, okay? If not, let's say we don't get that entry and this turns bullish, what I want to see is a 4-hour close above $350, and that will be a long sign to the upside. A breakthrough there means we're going to tempt the highs, so again, that's to $400, so that's already a good 20%, but I do think it's a token that could be pushing up to the 500 at any point. All right, so again, entry's a little bit lower down for now, where I'm going to fish, but I also know the trend break will be the execution view. Then the next one I want to speak about is 𝗨𝗨, right? Now 𝗨𝗨 it's a DEX, starting to move against the rest of the market, starting to show some strength. It has had a good breakout considering the rest of the market's been quite flat and choppy, okay? And I do see an opportunity of a pullback within the next day or two for a nice long to the upside. So this is another token that I'm paying attention to, and it is an area of around a 11 to around a 15% long that I'm looking for, right? Then another token I want to speak about is a short on ASTER if things don't go good, right? So I'm currently tracking ASTER as, I'm kind of looking at a little bit of a hedging strategy as well. So I'm tracking this little short-term move here at this point, but the problem with ASTER right now is it was looking good. It's a really crazy accumulation, okay? But if I kind of start to zoom out here, we're starting to lose a bit of steam, right? So unless, again, I'm not going to pre-jump the short, I'm not in the short just yet, okay? But I'm paying attention to that if this thing sits here and travels, whatever, right? Just chops around here for a day. And it gives me a clear, beautiful trend, okay? And I see us break that. There's a really good short opportunity, possibly brewing, right? So keep an eye on ASTER. That is one of the tokens that I'm paying attention to over here. If I look at Dogecoin, it is looking a little bit stronger at the moment. I am going to wait for a daily close. Okay, but we started to break through some highs here. So this might, if the market does give us a bit of a bounce or a bit of momentum, this looks like one of the possible leaders. I want to see a close outside of this around 9.7 to 9.8 cents mark on the daily. And we could see a nice push into the 10 to the 11 cent mark. Good risk to rewards, right? So pop in here, here, boom, boom, boom. Good risk to rewards. Right, this could be some nice trade setups over there. Then I also see one more token that's looking decent on the short time frame. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Okay, is ALGO. Just keep an eye out on this big flag. Okay, it might not be right now. Okay, there might be a small little long here from this breakout here. Okay, but I'm keeping an eye on this flag. When we break this 11 cent mark, we could be seeing a really nice move. Now, I want to get you guys to one of the last big opportunities that I'm seeing right now. Funded trading is still one of the best strategies in 2026. Right, you put in a little bit of money, you get to unlock, right? It's a simple strategy. Don't overtrade. Set your price per loss, right? And give yourself a chance. Like, don't think too big with these things, but you put in $100, you get to trade $25,000, you pass the levels, right? It's incredible, okay? Now there is a phenomenal special right now. You buy one, you get one free. Now let me show you guys the link over here so that you can see. Okay, you go down, here we go. Buy one, get one free. But you also get an instant funding account. Now remember, when it comes to funded tradings, you got 1 step and 2 step. Pass the first step, unlock real money, keep 80% of the profits. Then you got a 2-step, pass 2 steps, it's a little bit cheaper for the package, as well as your risk categories are better, right? So end of the day, here you can't lose more than 6%, otherwise the account closes in total, and 4% for the day. Here it will be 5% and 7%. So even though it's 2 steps, the steps are easier, right? And it's cheaper. So this is a really good one to pay attention to, okay? But now we have something that's groundbreaking when it comes to Bitfunded, which is the instant funding, which means that you buy the package and you trade with a live count straight away, right? There's no levels to pass. Right, so they got 2 packages right now. They got the one where you pay $149, you get to trade with $2,500 that you can 5x. So you can ultimately trade at $12,000. So by you paying $150, okay, you then have the ability to really trade at $12,000, right? Which is insane. Then you got $5,000, which is $300, and this you can trade with $25,000 if you use the leverage. Otherwise, you trade just normal with the $5,000. Quickest way to have 10 times to 12 times more money from the start, as well as a possibility of having up to 100 times more the money than what you actually got, instant funding. So the cool thing here is if you go here to new challenges, again, you have to use my link to get the special, is you buy one, get one free. So if I buy a 2-step and I get another one for free, right, at a good rate, okay, I also get a funding. So you get the best of both worlds here. You get a free funding with that too, which is incredible. So a big opportunity for everyone that is funding trading this year, not putting a lot of money into the market, but still having the ability to have size. Here is a big special for you guys. Then last push that I want to speak about here, guys, I've dropped incredible content on the new channel, 𝗦𝗏 Trading. Go and subscribe. We have a funded video actually dropping in the next day or two that you are really going to love, starting from the absolute scratch of how this is one of the best strategies this year going into 2026. Guys, I wish you a phenomenal Friday and a weekend. Spend time with your loved ones, look after yourself, get some good rest, keep motivated, keep strong, and I'll see you guys on Monday. And let's smash another week. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, where is my outro?